Aaron Glenn is simply not messing around when it comes to being the New York Jets head coach. We're 4 days into New York Jets training camp. In this video, I want to give you guys my biggest takeaways. I was there for 2 of the 4 training camps, so I have something to tell you guys out of my own perspective. And also, what Aaron Glenn said in the press conference yesterday was very interesting. I made a video and posted it all over social media, and I want to share that video with you guys and then break it all down. Did he take an indirect shot at former Jets head coach Robert Saleh? Well, we're going to get into it in this video in detail. Well, Jets fans, do me a favor right now. Hit the like button on your way into the show and comment your thoughts of your biggest takeaways from the New York Jets training camp. They are off today on July 27th, so there's nothing going to be out there in terms of practice. In case you guys are wondering what's going on at Jets training camp today, there's nothing happening, which is why I wanted to make this video early this morning. So let's get straight into business. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Aaron Glenn, because there is a complete different energy going on with this New York Jets football team. When you go to practice, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you were there Friday or Saturday like I was, you know what I'm talking about. And it's even the smallest adjustments to these brand new drills, for example. I mean, Aaron Glenn is implementing a drill that is old school football tackling drills that Robert Saleh never did. And I don't think Adam Gase or any former Jets head coach did anything like that. And it is basically teaching you how to tackle in the open field. And according to Aaron Glenn, this is a spacious league today, which means you got to be able to tackle in the open field and on the offensive side of the ball, make people miss in the open field. So that's going to be a really fun drill when the pads go on. But what Aaron Glenn said to Connor Hughes of SNY yesterday in the press conference really opened up a lot of eyes, because obviously this is not a shot at Robert Saleh saying like, yeah, Saleh stinks at his job. It's just basically saying this is what we're about today as a coaching staff. So I'm going to play the video I made yesterday and then we're going to break down exactly what had happened. So this is basically the TikTok I made. Here it is. Did Aaron Glenn just take an indirect shot at former Jets head coach Robert Saleh? The question was about year 3 edge rusher Will McDonald. Will McDonald basically dominated practice today. I was there and I saw it with my own eyes. He did his signature spin move, but there was a new move that Will McDonald put on full display at practice today that caught a lot of attention from the media. And that was this play right here that I sent out a tweet when it happened. He bull rushed and bodied Armand Memu to the floor. We all know that Will McDonald has a signature spin move, but today at practice, he whipped out a bull rushing move and absolutely powered Armand Memu to the floor. Connor Hughes of SNY basically asked Aaron Glenn after practice, "We have not seen Will McDonald do anything like that before in previous years. What's changed?" And you would assume, oh, he put on more weight. No. Listen to what Aaron Glenn had to say about that question.
Yep. Spins that come around the edge. The power that he put on, I don't know if you need the replay if you haven't seen it yet, but he went over him at one point. Is that even a new element to his game when you said he added some weight?
Coaching.
Is that now what he can do?
Coaching. It's coaching.
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Because he can do it. You just said he's never done it last year, right?
Not much.
Now you see him do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
It's just coaching. That tells me right there that Will McDonald was not coached properly last year. And Aaron Glenn's basically saying, well, the coaching staff last year didn't really tell him to do that. We're going to tell him to do that, and he is going to absolutely be a beast. So, hey, obviously he's not directly taking a shot at Robert Saleh, but you can tell that Aaron Glenn's coaching philosophy is night and day difference from Robert Saleh. Let me know your thoughts, Jets fans, about that, and let's go Jets. It's just coaching, according to Aaron Glenn. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more deep to read into, and you got to give Will McDonald credit himself, of course, for taking the coaches' adjustments and implementing them onto the football field. Will McDonald did put on extra weight, and I think that he is going to have a fantastic season this year. If you ask me who is the breakout star, my bet is going to be Will McDonald on this New York Jets football team. If you watch the Origins documentary, you know more about Will McDonald off the field and who he was in high school, who he was in college, and now who he is in the NFL. I'm really excited to see what Will McDonald looks like. So Aaron Glenn has been doing these press conferences, and he's not taking actual shots at Robert Saleh. And I don't want people to make it seem like that's what I'm saying. But he is doing different things where it's like, yeah, that's the opposite of what Saleh did. And another example is the officials at practice. Aaron Glenn, I think 2 or 3 days ago after practice, he was asked about the officials being at training camp. And he's like, we were the last team in the NFL in penalties, meaning we have the most penalties. We're the most undisciplined football team in the league last year. And I love how he refers to the Jets as we were the last team in the NFL last year, when Aaron Glenn was not the coach here. He was not with the New York Jets, so he was not part of the undisciplined mess that was the New York Jets last season. But he's bringing officials on the football field for training camp, and he's trying to make this team all about discipline, all about nipping those penalties early in camp so it can get out of the way, because he knows that's a big issue with this Jets football team these previous years with Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich being the coaches of this football team. So absolutely love that. And again, I don't think that Aaron Glenn is out there like just being this rah-rah guy and say, yeah, Saleh didn't know what he's doing, I'm better. That's not the point here whatsoever. But the idea that Saleh and his coaching staff, their coaching tendencies compared to the coaching philosophy of Aaron Glenn and his squad, it's completely different. And you can feel it on the football field. And another energy that I love from Glenn is he's just not messing around, bro. And again, I don't think Aaron Glenn is out there just taking shots left and right, but he's basically speaking from within and how he operates as a head coach, and it's just as a fan base and from the media's perspective, listening to what Aaron Glenn is saying, it's like, yeah, this is a complete different energy that we got here, and it is exactly what this New York Jets football team needs. Now, does this guarantee the Jets are going to be a successful team this year? We're going to win 11 games, and Aaron Glenn is going to win the Jets a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. That's not the point here. The point is, there's a brand new head coach here with the New York Jets. He brings in a brand new coaching staff. Everything's new. So we're learning on the fly as a fan base who he is. What is he about? He's about the Bill Parcells way. He's about bringing energy, discipline, and man, you absolutely love to see everything about Aaron Glenn. And even the structure of practice is different. The timing is earlier in the morning, way earlier in the morning. And even Breece Hall was asked himself, what's the difference you've noticed from training camp with the previous regime compared to this regime with Aaron Glenn? And Breece Hall said this: it feels a lot better going to work every day compared to last year. He says there was a lot of instability around the whole operation last year as that players have bought into the new coaching staff. So that right there is proof of what we are talking about here in this video, that it's not just the fans noticing it, it's the players from last year that's here this season with Aaron Glenn noticing a complete shift of energy. So that's definitely something to look into of what Breece Hall is saying. So I absolutely love everything about this Jets football team right now with Aaron Glenn as the head coach. And then to get into my last takeaways here is Justin Fields being healthy. I was there yesterday. Seeing him operate 7-on-7 was fantastic. I think that he was precise. It's 7-on-7, right? You can't really evaluate it. There's no pass rush, but it's just a breath of fresh air that he's not injured, Justin Fields, and he's out there looking good. He's sprinting around the field. He's going to be good to go. Braylon Allen is a guy that is really picking up some steam here at practice. You know, talk about Breece Hall in that quote. Braylon Allen, on the other hand, he is a monster. He looks fantastic on the football field. He's got so much speed at that size, which is really elite, and I'm excited to see what he looks like. And then the wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson, they're looking pretty good so far. Tyler Johnson had a really big catch yesterday in 7-on-7 down the field in the middle. Josh Reynolds is looking very reliable, that he's actually going to make a lot of big plays this season. Even Malachi Corley's getting involved a little bit now. Arian Smith is really having a big impact early on in camp as well from the offensive standpoint. And then from the offensive line, Armand Membu struggling against Will McDonald. Don't read too much into that. I know that the big, talking point right now is Will McDonald is dominating Armand Membu. Yeah, obviously he's going to dominate. There were some reps where Membu held his ground against Will McDonald. There were just 2 reps that Will McDonald dominated those reps. Just spun around him like his usual dominant self of Will McDonald, and the other one where he bull rushed him to the floor. So obviously when you see those 2 plays compared to the other 20, those are the ones that's going to stand out. When Armand Membu holds his ground on Will McDonald, he does. There are reps where he does. And Armand Membu said himself, like, Will McDonald's my biggest op right now, and that's going to only get Membu better, and he's a rookie. There's also no pads on, so let's pump the brakes on what's going on in the trenches just yet. But the center position is interesting. There is a competition between Myers and Tippmann. Let's see who wins that battle. My vote is going to be Joe Tippmann eventually going to win that one. And then from the defensive standpoint, man, Will McDonald, I keep talking about him. He's the focus of this video, so let's move on to somebody else. Andre Cisco has been fantastic. I mean, this free agent is coming on into this secondary, and he is going to be a difference maker. He's going to lead the Jets in interceptions, in my opinion. I think that he's going to be the ball hawk that we missed the last few years, and he's a free-roaming safety that is a veteran that's really still young, 25 years old, looking to go out there and ball so he can get paid on the open market next year, whether it's with the Jets or with another team, because he only has 1 year on his contract with the New York Jets. Tony Adams, he has a lot of flash, a lot of energy. He's got to prove himself because he's starting next to Cisco, but we all know that Malachi Moore could easily steal that spot from him eventually. And then the rookie, Azareye'h Thomas, he had an interception yesterday at practice, and he looked really good all day. And I'm really excited about Azareye'h Thomas. I think he has a lot of upside in this league. So that's my thoughts, my biggest takeaways about the New York Jets training camp throughout the first 4 days of training camp. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, folks. A lot to unpack in this video. And the Jets are off today, so we'll see what comes out in this week of practice when the pads go on and everything's live, baby. That's when real football starts to get played. So with that, appreciate all the love and the support you guys have been showing on Jets Media lately. I really do appreciate it more than you know. And let's go Jets. Peace out, folks.